Peace, peace. This God I see signing on once again. You know what I'm saying? Hope everybody out there is doing well during these very interesting times that we live in. During these very interesting moments that we are living in on this planet and beyond. This is a moment right now for all of us to actually do some self-reflection. You know, this is a moment right now to actually work through unhealed and unreleased traumas that we may have still stored inside of us. You know what I'm saying? This is not the time to keep sweeping that shit under the rug, because it's only going to continue to grow and get bigger and bigger until it actually explodes. And you're going to continue to have more issues. You can't hold all of that in any longer. There's something that you're not letting out or releasing that's still there. You know what I'm saying? And we all have to work through it. Sometimes we might think that we already released something, but we still have it. You know, there's still energies that we harbor from childhood. You know, there's energies that we might harbor from a past relationship. You know, we still may be harboring post-traumatic stress, you know, from losing somebody close. You know, any type of trauma, anything that can actually create trauma within your energetic field, you know what I'm saying, can actually manifest within your body and turn into other things, can turn into other symptoms. You know, it can turn into other things, you know, such as anxieties, depression, you know what I'm saying, headaches, you know, chest pains, digestive issues, and things of that nature. So we got to be mindful. A lot of you might like to always go to a physical origin as to why you feel the way you do. Yet some of you don't really understand that everything starts in your chi, your energetic field or your energetic body. It starts in your spirit and your aura first before it actually goes into the physical. You know what I'm saying? And when you talk about emotions, when you bury emotions deep inside of your body, they actually can turn into different things. The emotion of fear can actually affect your kidneys. You might have lower back pain if you're dealing with a lot of fear. You know, that's just one example. But I'm saying all of that to say that when we dealing with the energy right now that we dealing with, this is a season of dying and releasing so that we can reap the harvest that we supposed to reap. You know what I'm saying? This is harvest season. Autumn is harvest season. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know it's so many different distractions that got you locked into other shit that you're not really focusing on yourself, but you gotta get out of that and focus in on yourself, your intention. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of shit right now. You need your undivided attention. It's a lot of unresolved trauma right now that you have that needs your undivided attention. And it's not going to be resolved until you resolve it. You know what I'm saying? You might not even be aware of what's causing you to feel certain things. You might not even be aware as to why you go through certain things inside of your mind. You keep getting all of these invasive thoughts coming in your head, like you keep thinking about crazy shit that you don't even normally think about right now. You keep getting bombarded with all of these negative thoughts, and you know that it's taking your mind to a place that you don't want to go to. You know what I'm saying? You may even become very depressed. You know, you might want to just end it. You know what I'm saying? Because you got all of these thoughts going through your mind, because there's a mindset that's there that has not yet been broken. Because you still holding on to shit. You try to smile and forget about it, but deep down in the background it's still there. You know what I'm saying? You can't cover up pain with a band-aid. You can't cover up pain with a smile. You know what I'm saying? You have to feel the pain. You have to acknowledge the pain. You have to acknowledge why you feel the pain. Why you never let it go. Why are you still holding it? Does it make you afraid? You know, does it make you sad? Does it make you angry? What is this that's causing this, and where does it stem from? So that's why, like, if you book a consultation with me, we can get to the bottom of this, of why you going through whatever you going through, and we can help you get on the path to actually healing that thing. And if you need to reach me, once again, that email is info@thehouseofancestors.com. Again, I go by God I Seer. I am a writer, spiritual advisor, metaphysical teacher, artist, and entrepreneur, here to assist you. You know what I'm saying? But again, and also too, while you here, go ahead and leave a comment and hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? And if you know somebody that can be helped by this, go ahead and share, you know. But again, as I was stating before, go ahead and, you know, start working on that right now, because this season we just, you know, anytime we have an eclipse, we had just recently had a solar and a lunar eclipse. You know what I'm saying? There's a major gateway open. There's a cosmic gateway open right now for us to actually move through. In order for us to move through that, we got to already be dealing with traumas. We got to release it. This is the best time to release it. See, some of these things come back up for you to heal. You might think like, damn, I got rid of this. I thought I was done. I thought I was over this certain situation. But here it comes again, coming back, because there's still parts of it that you have to heal. So whenever you start feeling that anxiety or that certain feeling again that you used to feel back when you was going through whatever you was going through, that means it's coming back for you to actually fully release it this time. It's nudging you like, hey, nigga, I need to get your attention. You know what I'm saying? This is trying to get your attention so that you can release this shit that you holding on to. You know? So there's what we call, you know, epigenetic memories. Epigenetic memories can be actually passed down from generation to generation. That means that if your ancestors 3 generations ago suffered a certain amount of trauma, that energy can actually be muted. I mean, not transmuted, but actually transferred down through different generations until it actually is released. Sometimes some of us come along that might be generational curse breakers who are meant to actually break that shit out of our lineage and our bloodline. Sometimes it might take several generations to get rid of certain things that might be in our bloodline. So you never know how deep this trauma goes. This shit might not even be that you're dealing with, could be not even from this lifetime. But nevertheless, you have things that you may have been through in adulthood and childhood that you still harboring. Remember this right here. Whenever you have to heal something, you have to actually face it in order for it to be released. You know what I'm saying? Think about it like this. You know, whenever we do any of you who are familiar with doing like an herbal cleanse or any type of cleansing, whenever you do a cleanse, the first thing you're going to experience is some sort of a symptom. You know, when you see a symptom like a runny nose, you might get a headache. You know what I'm saying? You might feel pains in certain part of your body when you're doing a cleanse. The first thing somebody might ask is, why do I feel sick? I thought the cleanse is supposed to make me feel better. Because in your mind, you think the symptom actually represents sickness. It does, but when you see a symptom in a form of healing, the symptom has to come to the surface in order to be released. When you see mucus coming out of your nose, that means that that's your body's way of eradicating something that's been inside of you. It's trying to get rid of it. Stop trying to take shit to mask the symptoms and actually release that shit. And in order for a release to happen when you're sick, you have to go through it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it might come in the form of mucus. You might have headaches and pains to be released. It comes out in pains. You might have breakouts on the skin. It might comes out, you know, through urine, through defecation. So the same thing applies to spirit, to energy, to trauma, to emotions. You're going to feel that the same way. It too has to come out. And so just the same way you have a runny nose when you're sick, that's a symptom. You're going to have symptoms in your body. And your body is going to tell you, hey, something's wrong. You know, you might have an anxiety attack. That anxiety attack is an alarm system going off in your body telling you there's something that needs to be looked at. So that's your nervous system's way of telling you there's something in here that needs to be corrected. And whenever the stars align a certain way, it's aligning for us to go in and recorrect traumas that we thought we could corrected before and we didn't correct. Going back to whenever there's an eclipse, you see the shadow. You can see the shadow sometimes, the earth shadow or the moon. So when there's an eclipse, that represents the things that you have hidden in the shadows coming to the surface. And so whenever something comes to the surface, you feel it more intensely. And this is your opportunity to actually release it. So start looking at this shit as an opportunity to release whatever energy that you may be harboring, whatever energy that you holding on to. Let it go and release it. This is the season of release. You know what I'm saying? Why are you doing all of that? Celebrating holidays and all of that other shit that y'all like to do. Getting your drink on and all that. That's cool. Partying and doing all of this other bullshit. You need to go sit down somewhere for a moment. Because eventually, if you keep just going, and doing, and you're not paying attention to your energetic body, it's going to let you know in a way so strong that it's going to fuck you up. It's going to shake you all the way up, and you're going to wonder why is this shit going on? You know what I'm saying? It's going to get to a point to where you're either going to break down or you're going to break through. Sometimes you have to go through a breakdown for that shit to get your attention for you to break through. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of unhappy smiles. You know what I'm saying? Notice I said unhappy smiles. What do I mean by that? I mean smiles that are covering up pain. You know what I'm saying? They're not genuine smiles. The smiles is covering up pain. And that's one thing about being a spiritual seer. When you can see, is that I can see these things when I see people. I can see beyond the veil. You know what I'm saying? Because again, having my first eye open as it is, I can see shit that, is hidden in certain people. You know what I'm saying? So like, I see a lot of people that have smiles covering up pain. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get to that pain that's behind that smile so that you can really smile and mean it. You know what I'm saying? We run from that shit. Especially in our community, we taught to run from that shit. Not face it. Stick your chest out and just act like it ain't even there. No, that ain't fixing nothing. You just pretending. You putting on a mask. You know what I'm saying? You want to look a certain way like you got it figured out. You know what I'm saying? You wearing a lot of makeup to cover up your wounds. You throwing on all of these things to cover up your wounds and cover up your pain and shit. You wear certain clothes and shit to try to cover up what you lack inside or internally. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's you that got to stand in front of that mirror with no clothes on and be spiritually naked and look at yourself in the face. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people that want to consider themselves to be light workers, but don't want to go through that dark phase, that dark side. I talk about this all the time. In order to become a true alchemist, you got to be able to deal with darkness and light. Don't get it confused. The energy and everything that I'm speaking about right now, it wouldn't be had it not been for going through the darkness. I know all about the left-hand path. Trust me. I know all about it. You might think, hey, this person is, you know what I'm saying, joyful, peaceful. But you can't get to that joyful state or peaceful state until you go through that darkness and that painful state. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. What we call demonic entities and energies that like to latch on to you. Yeah, you carry them throughout your duration if you don't know how to face them, to get rid of. You know what I'm saying? This is how we become alchemists, by learning to work with darkness and light. And right now, this is the season. I'm letting y'all know right now, the season to release this shit is now. Do it right now while this portal and this gateway is open. If you listening to this, even if you hear this whenever A year later, after it was spoken, it still means that it was meant for you to hear it when you heard it. So again, man, I just wanted to come on and drop that quick message for those listening. Again, if you really want to, get a consultation, if you don't know where to begin, then, I would advise you, if you would like, you can email me, info@thehouseofancestors.com. Also, go follow The House of Ancestors on Instagram. Go follow The House of Ancestors on Twitter, or X is what they call it. Follow The House of Ancestors on Facebook. And, yeah, man, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? Let's speak about it. But once again, man, just had to come through, drop this quick message. This is God I See signing off. Peace.